Chinatown shit, Hollywood shit.
I wish y'all can see him right now. I wish y'all can see him.
Niggas be doing a lot and nothing at all. Let scar, and I'm talking real life, nigga. Knocking off his own balls. I don't beat around the room. I don't beat around the bush.
We ain't gonna give y'all too much, but y'all already know the vibes, man. This is the Unpopular Opinion Podcast. I'm your host, Grant F.A., joined as always by my co-host, Dano the Don. What's going on with you, bro?
Yata, you know what it is.
What's going on with that delay? Hey, man, but as promised, Nova Freeman, up-and-coming artist out of New Jersey, my dog, is in the building. Let's go ahead and welcome Nova Freeman to the Unpopular Opinion Podcast. What's going on with you, bro? Hey, appreciate you for coming on, man.
Good, man. I'm happy to be here, man. I'm excited for real, man.
Hey, man. Hey, it's always a blessing to have, you know, friends or people that you really rock with on the podcast, or, you know, just do your show and y'all able to support each other. And that's what this is right now. A lot of y'all don't know. I met this dude back in 2010 when we were both kids. I was 19. I'm sure I think he was younger than me at the time. I was about to say, you was one of the youngest ones in the in the platoon. But we met in basic training at Fort Benning in Georgia, and hey, man, you meet some of the realest people in the Army, bro. You meet some of the realest people.
Guaranteed. I mean, and not only that, but not to cut you off, but like just
no.
Extension of it, because it's like, yo, me and you got Dano now, and I done discovered Dano and his music, and like, yo, it's like it comes together. It's a whole community, and this world is not that big.
It really ain't, bro. It really ain't, especially once you've been around in the military. Like, you realize, like, man, like you become friends with some of the most unlikeliest people that you never thought that you would never even fool with, bro. It's like, I would never talk that to that dude if I was back home, but in here, like, bro, you realize when that's all y'all got, like, this one of the coolest niggas that you probably done ever met in your life.
Yep, because you're not living off of this world that we living in, where everything is about clout or how many followers this person got.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yo, none of that matters. I don't even have a phone right now, but it's like, yo, if I could befriend this person and I could get a cookie off him when he got an extra one, like, that shit matters.
Yeah, bro, like, for real. So let's get down to it, man. Let's get down to it. Who is Nova Freeman? Tell the people who.
Word. So, I mean, I am who I am. I am what you see, man. I ain't nobody special. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a regular, everyday recording artist, right? I'm just driven by innovation. I'm just trying to change the problems that I see. I feel like that's what makes millions, right? And it's not about making millions. It's really about solving problems, but that tends to come with it, right? So, and realizing that for me, the goal is to use my voice and my knowledge to develop a platform where, like, the lower class or like unsigned artists isn't defined by, like, what I was just saying, clout or the influence they have, but by the actual art, right? What they're saying, with the knowledge that they're passing on. You know, that's what creates fans. Like, just being able to be personable, right? So it's like, that's why I lead, or I try to lead with marketing my brand and not me so much, right? So for me, it's all about Chinatown. And Chinatown, for me, I'm like Eddie Murphy in life, right? Like, so he had the boom boom room. For me, it's Chinatown. So it's like everything, for just like Eddie Murphy, for me, it's like everything should be done in house, right? It should be done that way. One, to cut costs, and for two, to like be more efficient. I feel like the more people you have helping out, the more helping hands, the less efficiency goes up. Like, because you have so many opinions, so many things pulling the rope this way and that way. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like to keep your circle small, just like Jay-Z or anybody else to say, you know what I'm saying? Like, just find those 1 to 2, 3 people to just make it a square and make it whole, make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm using this to like just bring everyday awareness to utility wear, old school hip hop, and just bringing that to life. Like, you
You
know
know
what I'm
what?
saying? Like,
It's crazy you said that before I pass it over to Dano for his question. It's crazy that you actually said that get you just a small group of friends because I had my daughters today and my oldest she was she's going to third grade next year. She's talking about how she's scared to go to third grade and is she gonna make any friends because not a lot of people want to be friends. And I'm like, baby, you don't need a lot of friends. You just need a select few and y'all ride. She's 8 and I'm talking to her like she's 15. I'm like, you all you need is that small select few and you gonna rise. Like, cause people, I was like, you know what fake friends are? It's people that, one that's showing that they're your friend in public, but they don't really like you for real. So I'm like, just get your select few and you go, hey, move on from there. Go ahead, Dano. I know you got something.
All right, so what I want to ask you, bro, is my question is what made you interested in music, but I wanna furthermore ask what was that thing that made you feel like, all right, this is something that I can do. Uh, Being a rapper is something that I want to pursue for real. What was that thing that I guess was that point that made you want to really do this?
okay, I'm gonna
Bro, how you gonna put it on me, bro? It's his question, bro.
I wanted to get you. I wanted to get you for the question. I was just slow switching to no. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
yeah, no, you're good, man. I'm gonna answer your question in a couple different parts, right? Because like everything isn't straightforward or black and white. Um, but what I will say is overall confidence, right? But that point in which I found confidence in myself to
Man,
be able to um, do it full time is entering this new relationship, right? So I was at a point getting out of the army, and I'm gonna fast forward to when I actually to answer the first part of your question, which is when I fell in love with music, which was in the military. I'm gonna go back to that, but when I came
okay.
out, right, um, I was lost. I didn't know what to do, as most would tell you, or most veteran stories will be. We're fucking broke. You know what I'm saying? We don't have any or the slightest idea how we're going to use what we learned in the past 3, 4, 5 years and be able to transition. So it was difficult for me, right? Not only that, I had a daughter, like you said, she's my daughter's about to go to third grade too. She's 9 years old, so um, I was struggling because one, I wasn't a stable dad yet because I wasn't there physically. You know what I'm saying?
Amen. I
Um,
feel that. I feel that.
when I first got out, that was my first intention, and I didn't really think about the actual financial part of it, right? So it's like, yeah, I was there, but that was my focus. So I slipped on my what Troy wanted to do, who Troy was. I wasn't thinking about that at the time, right? And slowly but surely, I was getting depressed, or just wasn't happy with myself, and I didn't know why. So my family stepped in and helped me, right? And I wound up going back to school because I thought playing football again was what I wanted to do. Eventually, that didn't work. I lasted one semester, one season, and I'm like, this not for me. And honestly, like, that semester, I had a 4.4 average. Like, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't a problem. Like, but I realized I wasn't putting myself in the best situation to grow. You know what I'm saying? And
I
I
feel that.
really realized,
No, I
and
definitely
not only that,
feel
I
that.
realized I wasn't completely in love with football like I thought. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have that love
Mhm.
like I do for my fiance or music, right? So to tie it all in, I met my fiance now that I've been with for 3 years. So this was going back to 2017, right? I met her, and she's been running her company in this whole company that like does infused mills, like weed infused mills. And I'm like, what the like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was just and then I just threw myself into that opportunity and seeing what the hell she got going on. And I just realized it was just her, like that was her end for her. That's what she fell in love with. For first, it was cooking, but she realized, like, okay, let me be innovative and bring something else I love into it, which is weed. And this was 7 years ago, before, like,
I was
years
going to
before
ask
all
you
of
about
that.
that as well because I was going to talk about your CBD business. I seen that y'all opened that up. That big congratulations there.
Thank you,
I was going to mention
thank
that.
you.
Glad you said it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, um, but it was interesting, right? Because it was like at the point I met her, she was growing, right? She was known in the community, and she had a base. At that point I met her, she was throwing her fourth party, or third party, something like that. So it's still very early in the new experience for her, but she had friends and she had employees. But she still needed like a man's help because it's a woman-owned company, right? So it's nothing but women, and you know how women are. They just need that manly,
They
like
need that
not
rock
the, you know what I'm saying? Something
yeah,
that like, yo, it's like, yo, can
to complain
somebody
to every
go?
night.
People emotional.
You know what I'm saying? So it was not only being there for her, but actually making her business more efficient. So I
Mhm.
came in right away and was busting out dishes. Like kitchen was clean before she was done serving. I was
That's
just
what's
making
up,
her
bro.
shit more like, you
That's
know what I'm
what's
saying?
up.
I'm like, how can I make it? And she realized that, and we grew from there. But it was throughout that whole process I learned what it took to be an actual entrepreneur and translated that to music, which she gave me the
Oh yeah.
time. She gave me the time with her business, you know what I'm saying, and the money that's created and going through revenue and going back in it. She's teaching me how to invest that money that you make to go right back into it,
And
and
that's real.
use
That true
like, you
partnership.
know what I'm saying? Word, like, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
true
saying?
partnership.
Yeah,
And
true
she's
partnership
like, look,
for real. For
look,
real.
like, yeah, I have this business, but I'm still broke as a person. Like Brown Box is his own company, right? And she had to really explain that to me and narrow it down to like, look, like we have to still treat it as such. So I'm like, aha, I had my aha moment, right? So I'm gonna bring it back to when I was in the army when I first fell in love. So right after I met you, like I was telling you earlier, I went to Fort Gordon and I went to my MOS, right? I learned my MOS. I was there for 3 months.
Uh-huh.
And that's in Columbus, Georgia. It was cool for me. I had family there. My girlfriend at the time, who was my daughter's mother, was right in Atlanta. So I was living the dream. Like, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? On the weekends when I was allowed to go, I was shooting to Atlanta. I'm in
that's a
Atlanta.
quick drive too.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, for me coming from New Jersey going to Atlanta, it's not that I've never been there or anything, but I was never in the scene. Like I'm 17, 18 years old. I'm in the crowd with like I'm talking like right in the middle of everything, like right there with Morehouse and Spelman and Clark Atlanta. My cousin goes to
You
Clark
trying to go
Atlanta.
crazy.
I'm like,
You trying to go
yo,
crazy.
is this life right now? I can't believe this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm having the time of my life.
For real.
Long behold, I get my orders. I'm going to Korea. So it get even better for me. I'm like, yo, I'm 18 years old, bro. I'm living a dream. Mind you, though, I didn't know this whole time the universe had a plan for me. My baby mother was apparently pregnant. I didn't know it at this whole time, but I got my orders. I'm going to Korea. I'm in Korea. Boom. But in the midst of in Korea, I meet my people. I'm in my unit. This is my first time. Like I'm young. I'm ready for the world. So I dive into everything. Like I'm like the company like whore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not on some
Real
not on
hard.
like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like not
And for
on
people
some
that don't know what that means like you just like you really about your army business. Like you that soldier. That's what that
word.
means.
Word. So it's like, yo, I was throwing myself into all the like extracurriculars. Anybody need to help with anything, I'm there. So I was like just like if anything, like in your job, I was the employee of the month for like months in a row. Like so I joined the flag football, the company flag football team. I take the company flag football team to the championship, lost the championship by one, but the actual coach for the actual army like base for all 5 bases that was in Korea, and we go on tour and play each other.
Like the whole army team
Um,
kind of like
the army. So
yeah.
he was there and seen me play. He invited me to join that team. So I'm flourishing out there, right? And in the midst of that, I'm seeing that like South Korea is really big as hell. So I go down to Daegu and experience the parties and the lifestyle out there. And I'm telling you, like, yo, when you talk about so many people out there and the music and people for performing, I didn't expect it. I go out there, I see other army people on the stage start performing. I'm like, what? Making money? Like what? And I'm like, yo, for them, it's nothing. They don't care what they saying. If it's high, you can record your shit. So boom, me and my buddies I was rooming with, we invested in some equipment. You know what I'm saying? Got to work. You know what I'm saying? We released a song, let the company hear it. The company heard it. They liked it. They let us perform at some things. And I started performing in Korea. And that was my first little taste of what music
You got
can
that
be.
limelight.
Right. So I fell in love with it out there. So fast forward, I get out. Right. But like I said, I wasn't in the best mental state. Right. So I'm finding myself again. I found my fiance. And I get a call from my homeboy that I met in Korea that I was making music with. Dev. He like, yo, I'm out, bro. I was just seeing where you at, yo. If you like, I know you was telling me you wasn't feeling the best, this, that, and the third. You know, you can always stay with me, this, that, and the third. So I felt there was the opportunity for me to go out there and just get my mind right and get my just in alignment. So I go out there,
Recharge.
you know what I'm saying? And this mug, he take me, he got whole sessions lined up for me and everything. You know what I'm saying? And just throw me into it. And I'm like, yo, you think this shit hard, bro? Like, you like, bro, like, you don't hear yourself? You know what I'm saying? So that was the first like rekindleness of the
I definitely feel
confidence.
that.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
Hey, he send me music all the
I
time.
definitely feel that, bro. I definitely understand.
you
All
know what
right,
I'm saying? So
all right, bro. Now I'm gonna ask you this question, and I want to ask you this question too because it goes off of that. What do you plan to get from hip hop? What do you plan to get from rap? And what do you plan to bring to it? If you understand what I mean.
I got you.
Like,
Nah.
if you don't, you can ask me. I know you get it. You are intelligent.
I try, man. I try to be as sharp as I can, as well spoken as I can.
Facts. And we can
Word,
do
but,
both.
right. But damn, can you repeat the question? I lost train of thought. Sorry.
All right, straight up to it.
Okay. Word. I remember now.
But
All right. So
it'd be like that.
I, honestly,
Is my
like,
shit lag, bro? For real, is my
nah,
shit
it wasn't
lag?
you. Nah, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad.
Nah, it ain't that bad. You probably got like a second lag or something like that.
Yeah.
Even if that.
But what I will say is what I'm trying to get from hip hop, and what I'm gonna say what I'm trying to get out of hip hop first, and then I'm gonna say what I'm trying to get back. Right. So what I'm trying to get out of hip hop, one is One Piece, because for me that's like the ultimate. Like, I know I'm not gonna be able to achieve ultimate peace with rap because I know it's a whole lot of otherworldly shit that comes with sanity, right? So I know it's not gonna be about the music, but what I will say is some type of peace and like togetherness. Like, yo, if you realize it, bro, like besides sports, and that's why I thought I loved it. Like, I thought like that's where the most camaraderie of black people are in sports, particularly basketball and football. So I thought that was what I was supposed to be doing, i.e., which brings me back to I actually wasn't in love with it when I found out I went back to school. You know what I'm saying? I actually didn't want to get hit that hard.
Real,
you know, what I'm
real
saying?
shit.
Like,
Oh,
I didn't want it as bad as like,
Hey,
like, you
hey,
know
boy,
what I mean?
taking a hitter will really make you rethink. Like, bro, I don't really want to do this every day, though. I ain't just.
This is what I think, bro. This is kind of off topic, but I used to play football too. I used to be a free safety, and I used to think that I love football, but I realized in the longevity of it all that I love the attention it brought me. And then after that, I would start to think, why do I want that attention? And then it's really just because I want to be heard. So first, I use that in music, and now I'm doing this. podcast stuff and I still do music, but it's all about being heard, really. It's all about being seen, doing something in our lifetime. And so I definitely feel what you're saying with that.
Yo,
Definitely
I like 150,000%, bro. Like for me, that's what it was. Like the attention, bro. I felt like, yo, I didn't have to say, and I'm already a obnoxious, loud person when I'm in my element, right? Like I have a big aura, right? So I feel like being on the field and smacking somebody or making a good play, like that
yeah,
was
every time.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like every time that just fed my ego more and more. And I felt like that's what it was about for me.
And every time you, ooh, that shit will bring you alive.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, like to answer your question and what I want to like get back to it, like is actual dopeness, bro. I feel like a lot of this mainstream shit, and not even mainstream, a lot of the motherfucking underground shit is trash, bro. You know what I'm
Super
saying?
trash. Super
It's
trash.
like it's like, yo, not even if the like the shit don't have to sound the best, right? Engineering wise. But my thing is like, yo, where's the authenticity? Like, where are like, you know what I'm like, stop trying to be somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that because I was gonna mention that to you. Like, I don't think like being that you from Jersey, I don't see that you have like a Jersey style or even like this new school that like it's some of it is cool, but some of it ain't. That and that's one of the questions I want to ask you. Like, where you get your inspiration from music from? Like where you get your sound from? Like, did you say I don't want to sound like exactly like this person, but I want to kind of mix this in with this and be that? Like, where you your thought process?
So ultimately, my favorite artists, right, as a whole, my two, I would say, are J. Cole and Drake. Like they always been an influence, and those two come with a lot of complex flows and different algorithms that come with that all alone. So I studied them, like really studied them. Like when people listen to their music to get a feel out of it, I listen to them and hear what they're saying to break down how did they bring this part of the paragraph to this part of the, like, you know what I'm saying? I really study music in that fashion, right? But besides that, like, yo, very much like people like yourself, bro. Like when I was in the army and fell in love with this, I was around motherfuckers from Alabama, from Florida, from
Your boy.
like I'm listening to Future before Future was like, I'm like, yo, this shit hard. Like,
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
Russell was the first person to put me on Big Sean before Big Sean was even getting played on the radio.
Sean,
bro, he used to play, y'all too. You and Russell used to talk about that Big Sean all the time, dog. And I remember going back home. I told my boy, bro, my niggas from Basic, bro, they taught me, bro, this Big Sean, and bro, nobody want to hear me. Like a month or so after we got out of Basic, Big Sean all on the radio. I'm like,
all on the radio, drop Detroit, everything. Like, I know it, bro. Like, and it's crazy because you witness, like, you could kind of witness the molding of this, right? And I went back and looked at a recording of myself, like I recorded on a laptop or something, and of myself and just me talking, bro. It's like, yo, I was just so raw. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were just.
But you was 17. You was the youngest dude in the platoon, bro. It was.
I was molded by you all though, like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, for me to be a Jersey strong motherfucker, like everybody know about Jersey, it's like Jersey, dirty Jersey. Like I'm from.
And you big as hell. Like people don't realize. Like, how tall are you?
I'm 6'4", bro. 6'4", 250.
Like this is a
damn, bro. You said
boy. Like I'm talking about, and this was at 17. Like
yeah,
you, like bro, you 17 for real? Like I'm talking about a large human being, bro. Like this ain't no small dude we talking about. So it's like it's crazy, bro. Like it was wild, man. Like, bro, we 4th platoon, we used to do some bro, they had us moving the whole bay downstairs. Bro, tell them about that time, bro.
Oh my goodness. Yo, so I just came in there and flipped all the beds over.
Bro.
Yo, bro, getting smoked. Yo, we used to get smoked the most. Our platoon used to get, but we was so together, bro.
Bro, we ain't have no flag at one point. Everybody else had a flag, bro. We just had stick.
Our flag. But guess what though? we was in the front when the shit was all said and done.
On God, though. On God. We was the best platoon, though, as far as like athleticism.
Yo, I swear.
We had them hitters, son. On God.
It's crazy. It's just like
every other company had a flag, right? For they when we want to go on the rug marches and all that, or we in formation, we just standing there, just a stick, bro. No flag on the top.
Like looking raggedy as hell. Like, yo, you ever seen the bench warmers, bro?
Yeah, bro. Like that's just how it was, bro. Like
raggedy.
We was
but
that.
It was like they knew everybody that was in that platoon was like, none of them really want to be here. Let's put them all over here. So like we was all like the ones who wasn't going to make it. It seemed like, you know what I'm saying? Like they all put us in one platoon, and it was like we only really lost one. That was it.
Yeah, and one tried to run away, brother. That tried to run away, like where he was going. I don't know what's going on with that.
It's like, yo, you in the middle of Georgia, bro. You not getting
out here. Bro, you don't know where you going.
And deep Georgia too, like
deep Georgia, bro. You don't know where you going. He tried to sneak out at nighttime, bro. They woke everybody up at like 2 a.m, bro. Like everybody get up, bro. Man, dog. We had some fun. Go ahead, Shadow. We had some fun, man.
Right, bro, go back to the music. I want to ask you, would you be interested in getting signed? And there's a reason I asked that, obviously. We're gonna have more convo on it.
No. No.
I guess that's the end of the conversation because you a smart man. You a smart man right there.
And it was like, yo, over the past years, I really like took some thought into that and like how I'm trying to market myself, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like I took the Chinatown approach as opposed to myself because yeah, I would sign a distro deal, but I would sign a distro deal for Chinatown USA. And with doing that, it would be like, yo, you distribute all the Chinatown USA music, not just mine. So it's like if I do have an artist that I'm recording or a group that I have recorded and I feel like this shit is hard and it should come out right now, you got to put that shit out too. You know what I'm saying? So I would do a distro deal with Sony and maybe that's about it, bro. Just Sony. I feel like because
why Sony?
Sony
because it sounds like you done did your homework already.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Sony because if you peep, look at them open credits in the next movies you watch or whatever you watch, it's going to probably say Sony. You know what I'm saying? And that's what
everything is.
And
be careful with Sony, bro.
Nah, you gotta be
Michael
careful
Jackson.
with them. But yeah, but they definitely, I feel like, are a progressive company compared to a lot of them. If you look at
they'll get you. I'll say, bro.
Yeah, and Sony
they'll
is
get
different.
But you have to be okay with the bread they give you. That's what I'm gonna say. With companies like Sony and things like that, you can't get greedy because once you keep doing more, then you kind of overstepping your boundary.
Right. But
and I definitely agree with your answer.
For me though, and that's why I say Sony. For me, the best chance. It's about for me with making music. Yo, it's about getting cataloged. Once your shit gets cataloged and set, it's almost like getting your TV show put in syndicate. You know what I'm saying? That's like whenever you turn on BET, you're probably going to see Martin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like or Jamie Foxx.
Like, I feel that.
So it's like, yo. So if I could get in these up and coming pop culture TV shows or movies that they have coming out, you're going to hear me every time you look at that movie. You know what I'm saying? Or you're going to hear me every time you turn on NBA TV because they have those direct connections. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it's about for me. For me, I realize it's all about advertising and marketing, and Sony gives you that best chance because of their connections.
Speaking of sports, you know, I know we was talking about, you know, hooping. You ain't ready for that yet. Maybe if my knees was probably like 5 years younger.
I'm looking like DeMarcus Cousins back.
I hear you. I hear you. You ain't capping, is you?
Yeah, you hear the music.
Hey.
The music. My shit speak for itself.
Hey. So staying on that, bro. NBA coming back. We already seen they talking about going down to Orlando. you know, do their thing in the bubble. Got the little wristbands. They got like rings or something. They doing the whole thing. Who you got winning it all?
The first thought that come in my head, I will say Lakers. You
I was
know,
about to say it better be the Lakers. I mean,
just because from a roster standpoint, a statistical standpoint, they're the most ready or the most prepared, right? But you definitely have teams that are ready. Like, yo, you know, that's what the playoffs are played for. Like, people want to forget that LeBron lost a lot of motherfucking playoff.
Cowboys.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, Cowboys are another one. Like, you know what I'm
they
saying?
trash.
It's the Lakers, bro. It's the Lakers.
You know, I feel like the Lakers are like that's a good equation, like to it. Like they can be compared to like the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So, and not only that, they probably are going to have the hardest schedule. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of the remaining of time. But what I will say is LeBron had a lot of motherfucking rest.
He has,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying?
He's
And
had
I'm
a
never
lot
going
of
to count. I'm not going to count him out. But I do like the Clippers' chance. You know,
I seen Larry Sherman from the Clippers. He just tested positive for the corona, so he won't be going down to Orlando. That you know, they lose a 3-and-D guy right there with Shamit missing. So it's gonna be tough. It's an uphill battle, bro.
How you feel about them signing JR? You know what I'm saying? How you feel about that? Especially after what happened the last time LeBron and JR was together. We all remember the last scene.
We do, bro, and they already got the memes. They've been with the memes like crazy. And I think, honestly, for me, I think the JR signing was as good as it can get because I think he's a better shooter than Avery Bradley, who played he took. He may not be as good defensively as Avery Bradley, but he also is a very good defender. JR can defend on the perimeter. So, you know, they're not losing much. He's bigger than Avery Bradley, and he hasn't been as injured as Avery Bradley has been. So I think, man, that JR and you want to get somebody that LeBron is familiar with, which is really what that pick was. It was let's get somebody for Bron, which is smart. I mean, I can't blame him. Get somebody for Bron that can space the floor that we know ain't gonna be clogging the paint. We know JR is catching.
He gonna sit on that perimeter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Word. I feel like, yeah, that's a good filler.
Yeah, man. I think the Lakers.
I want to ask you something though. Not to like switch.
No.
So fast, but how you feel about my New England Patriots?
You know what?
We're gonna win this chip or what?
You know what? I'm glad you said that because, you know, my cousin commented this down there because she was ready with her little thuggish behind. You know, she don't care nothing about no basketball. She talking about what about football. So I'm glad you said that. I think, bro, the signing of Cam Newton, I think that's big, bro, because that's right down Cam's alley. Josh McDaniels, we're going to run the football. We're going to execute the short passing game, but now we got a better runner at quarterback than we've ever had in franchise history. And we're going to pound Cam, and we're going to throw Julian Edelman 200 passes this year. And we, like, I actually like the chances because, you got Cam so cheap that you can go help on defense. You know, look at her talking about now we talking. But you have Cam now for cheap, and I think that's going to be able to help Bill Belichick do what he do, which is orchestrate that defense. Obviously, with Flores leaving, you know, and he's in Miami for his second year down there in Miami, so I think it's going to be big.
Yeah, and I'm not.
We ain't talking about your trash ass Cowboys. We ain't gonna talk about them.
That's why I ain't even talking right now, bro. That's why
I wanted to ask you too. What did you think about this whole thing with the Redskins going on, man? And what do you think they're gonna change the name to?
Bro, you know what? It's crazy because a lot of people don't know it. I don't know a lot. My best friend, brother, you know,
they gonna have
his parents that helped take care of me from when I was 13. He played for the Redskins for the past 7 years. He just got He signed a contract to go to Jacksonville. And we used to kind of talk about it a little bit, but it's like it was never there. I don't know if we'll be barking down so many other, I guess, tree. Like, are we now going to make the Chiefs change their name? You know, because that may be offensive and doing the tomahawk talk. I'm a Florida State fan. You know, that's me. I mean, check me out. I'm Florida State, and look what that says. Look at that. It's so. Are we going to make Florida State change their name? Is the tomahawk chalk offensive? I don't know, man. I'm talking about money because
they should only worry about professional level. I think they should only talk about changing names and being political on a professional level. Like that whole college thing, like let them figure out paying the players first. You know what I'm saying? Like let them literally figure that out because they taking that step by step as well. Nobody wants to really make a vote.
They should be getting paid.
Yo, like no, I'm like why is it going state by state as if they're like, you know, this is like weed or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I want you to touch on this question real quick.
Oh man, she talking about Cam overrated. Oh my, go look at his YouTube. Go look at his YouTube channel, and then come back to me. Working.
He working though. That boy 6'5" monster. I mean, that boy
is telling you that would be me out there playing quarterback for the New England Patriots.
Look at him
working like him,
bro. He's trying to catch himself up, babe. Hey, for real though, Cam. I mean, I've been looking at his Instagram, and people can say whatever they want about Cam, but one thing about Cam is you never have to question whether or not he want to win. And any day of the week, I played football all of my life. I've never cared more about having somebody that I knew. Listen, we gonna ride. Like that's all I care about, bro. Is you gonna lay it out here every time? And I ain't really never seen Cam really. People talking about, oh, he pout too much on the sideline. Well, so did Brady. Brady used to cuss out Josh McDaniels.
Yo, honestly, and it was like, yo, I was watching First Take. That's the only thing I watch. And after First Take go off,
I had to stop watching First Take.
What? Yo, I feel you on that because Max be blowing my shit.
Bro, like, he be blowing me, dog. Like,
he be blowing my shit. Max be blowing my shit. Max telling me, and if you watch this one day, whenever you see this, no.
He gonna see it, bro. He gonna
no, you be talking some bullshit. And you know you be talking some bullshit. And it's because, like, one, I know, like, that's the storyline or that's the narrative of the show. Like, you have to be in a debate of some sort, right? But it's like, yo, Max, bro. You have the platform of millions of people, bro. Stop giving out bad information. Stop.
He love him some Kawhi, bro. He love him some Kawhi. Lord have mercy.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Like,
just think about do your thing in boxing because you the man when it come to boxing.
Do you really know what he's talking about?
Be the man when it come to boxing. But
you know what I'm saying?
Max be all
Stephen A, like his influence and his opinion to me, I feel like matters. You know what I'm saying? So I watched them, but he was saying like, yo, the thing is with Cam, like they are marketable wise, like, and that's what everything is about, being able to be marketable. How much can you sell? What are your numbers? Like I was just saying earlier, right? Being able to have that on paper, your influence, and like I said, that's why I was telling your cousin, like, yo, go check out his YouTube channel. Check out like
that boy Cam, man.
You know what I'm saying? But like, yo, him, like honestly, before the whole Carolina, him going at it back and forth and all that, he was behind Tom Brady, he was the number one marketable player in the league, period, hands down. And I'm talking like over Russell Wilson, over OBJ, over like, yo, Richard Sherman, like all these players with huge platforms. Cam Newton has always been number one and number two behind Tom Brady. So the Patriots were smart enough to recognize if we're going to make a move like this, we're one, not going to put ourselves out there to lose money like that. So they gave him a great contract, which I think for him, because he gets all that money back next year, and New England wins because that third round pick that they gave up. And it really didn't matter that they gave that shit up because now they got a franchise quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
And his deal was incentive based. Go ahead, though, Dano. It is incentive based. So.
Word.
Oh! You ain't gotta stop. I was listening to what he was saying. That was deep.
Oh, word.
I
word.
On the notepad, because you already answered every question off that motherfucker.
Word. So word. Go ahead.
Let me ask you about your album. Any Given Sunday coming out August 1st. Make sure y'all go get that. Any Given Sunday, August 1st. Go get that. Where you come up with that name from? Is that personal? Is that is it just something like, oh man, like this would be cool? You know what I'm saying?
I would say a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? You still have to. I feel like one, it was a cool name. It stand out to me. Any Given Sunday, I feel like anybody would want to look into that more, right? But the meaning behind it was two things. Like one, I'm an avid movie watcher. Like that was me. Like instead of watching like cartoons and daytime TV, like I watch movies. Like I have like I wish I could show you. I could scoot this over here. You can see my whole like that's all.
Yeah.
Like I watch movies, right? So Any Given Sunday, if you know my man.
I was gonna go there, but I wanted you to kind of.
Right.
That's why I wanted to go. Did you get it from the movie? Like, would it be cool? Cause you.
It was like, yeah, that was a big influence. Like that was for me, that solidified it. Like Any Given Sunday, like like that.
Hey, you want to go ahead and answer that question right there for him?
What she said?
Where can we get your music, bro?
You can find me right. Well, it's not out yet, but right now you can find a tape that I right now have a little small EP, a 2-song EP that I just dropped maybe last week sometime. You can find me on Apple Music under Red November. So that's like my actual name to like the world. So you can search Red November. I should come up. You should see a face of me. You know what I'm saying? So you can find me on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, anywhere you can find music, YouTube. You know, I have a video out. I just dropped a month ago. For 420. I just did with my brother across town. So I did that one for my smokers and all that. You know. So that's where anything, or you could reach me on Instagram. If anything, hit me on in a DM and I can send anything straight to you. I'm a people person. I'm not a stranger, so you can just reach out to me. So you can follow me at Chinatown USA, CHNTWN USA, CHNTWN USA. So you can reach out to me on Instagram and you can find my links and everything from there. But to go back to answering the question. So yeah, Any Given Sunday, the movie, yeah. So this was highly influenced by the attitude of Willie Beeman, right?
It's my dog.
Word, like yo, he influenced a lot of my attitude or my demeanor in life, right? Like I watched that movie a lot. I tried to mimic him and who he was as a person. Just the confidence, like, you know what I'm saying? Going back to that word, you know what I'm saying? So that was what I wanted people to get out of this, right? So, and it's funny, yo, it's so funny, yo. I didn't know you did, but like, that's why I believe in the universe. I keep saying that. I knew you would play Beat Around the Bush. And the reason why, and it's funny because that's to me, not the best quality song. And it's a good song. Like it is a great quality sound song. You can compare it to anybody's song you got out nowadays, I feel like, but I feel like it's a little bit more raw, right? In emotion. Like I feel like I was talking to all the motherfucking doubters, all the rejection letters I done received on the tape already. Like I was relieving that energy. And I feel like people really grasp on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people really love a comeback story. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I really knew you would really pick that song for you to like because it's like I'm not here to beat around the bush. I'm here to tell it like it is, and this is what it's going to be. And I feel like a lot of people already think like that and will resonate with that.
That's my favorite song, bro. That Beat Around the Bush. that album is crazy.
And that was molded around the mentality of Willie Beeman. Like if you peep, he did the whole music video. He's like Willie Beeman, the ladies love.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like
it's just catchy, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I really wanted to do something that you could like sing along to or something like that, but just really feel the confidence I'm exuding through the track. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So my wife said, what's your favorite track?
My favorite track, I would definitely like also like you said, you got a favorite first and you got a favorite track. So my favorite track I would have to say is Prospect Ave. And
I like that one as well. That was actually my second. That's my second choice.
Word.
Yo, that's my second choice.
It was though, like it was between Beat Around the Bush and it's just I don't know. It was just that feel to me. And I also had like a favorite verse, honestly. So which is off that Son of a Gun. That's actually from you off the whole tape. That Son of a Gun. That's actually that's my favorite. And for all y'all, he did send it to us beforehand, so we actually listened to it before. It's fire. Go get it, please. August 1st, any given Sunday. Go get that. August 1st, any given Sunday.
I appreciate it. Real talk. It's funny you say Son of a Gun too, because that was one of the first songs I did for the tape, and decided I wanted to make it an EP as opposed to just dropping singles. And just go ahead and take that risk, like take that leap, just jump and say, fuck it, like I'm dropping the EP. You know what I'm saying? So, and not only that, that was the only song out of all of them that I freestyled. You know what I'm saying? So that was just like, yo, I came up with that shit on the spot, and that's how I was feeling, bro. I was off my good weed. You know what I'm saying? Me and Dre.
You better than me, bro.
Yo, like
you better than me, bro. I'm working on my first written song right now, and if you know I have a lot of music out there.
Right.
I'm working on my first written song right now. That tells you something.
Hey, and I can attest to that as well. Like I've been there when bro, I met this dude here only 4 years ago, and this is my dog. I'm talking about I done slick really bro. I only met him only from I was outside working on my Caprice, bro. I had just got some rims for my Caprice. And he walked outside and he was like, bro, that Caprice hard. Like, damn, the rims nice. And I'm like, yeah, and bro, and from that moment, like that's been my dog. Like, I just called him one day and I was like, hey, bro, you want to go out? And bro, it was like that was it. So and ever since I've never seen him write down anything. I've never seen him write down nothing, bro. Nothing. So the fact, yeah, bro, like that Son of a Gun, you did that. You did that, bro. You did that. Yeah, you did that.
I had to talk my shit.
Yeah, it takes a lot to sit down and write, though.
Yeah, you did that.
Why do you feel that way?
What?
Because for me, on the contrary, I feel like that's where I started. Like for me, it's always I found it hard to freestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like, well,
me as well. It's tough
that because I have a classical training, right? So in high school, my senior year, my last 2 years, junior and senior year, I took poetry class. So it was like that adds to the sauce as well as to like why I'm here in this moment, right? So it was like, I don't know. That's what it like. That's just how I knew to express my feelings, to write it in stanzas, and for it to not have to necessarily rhyme, but make sense at the end of every bar. So it was like that's where it started for me. You know what I'm saying? But then it didn't help that I listened to people like Jay-Z and Drake who just write in long run-on sentences. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I picked up those habits as well. And I added the country flavor, the Outkast, the Future, the that Atlanta sound. So it's like, I don't know, like for me.
And while we still here, I don't mean to cut you off, but while we still here, I want you to also tell the people about your bundle as well. While we're on
definitely. That bro, tell people, right? Because that shit hard.
Yeah, go ahead and do
I
that.
appreciate you.
Because mine is gonna be on the way. Don't worry.
Bro,
Don't
this
worry.
man changed my life. Dog. I
Don't
want
worry.
to do my shit, bro. For real.
Don't worry. We're gonna get that.
Hey, bro, it's just about innovation, man. Just trying to like really be authentic in you, right? So it's like the whole idea behind that was for me growing up, my mother always, I'm not ashamed to say it, she always took me to Marshalls, always took me to Walmart, always looking for a bang for a buck. That's how she taught me to shop. You know what I'm saying? So me as a person, and me being a person like, yo, if you gonna invest in me, right? Invest in me as a person, invest in my brand, you're gonna want to get your bang for your buck. Because I mean, that's who I feel like people are as shoppers. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I'm gonna spend this money, I'm gonna make sure that I'm getting what I'm supposed to out of this, right? So it's like I didn't want to give people just my music, right? I feel like that's what the industry does. That's how they capitalize on. So I feel like
Facts.
to create some type of parallel industry and be able to tear down the motherfucking morals and the rules that they have written for us for that we're supposed to, you know, go by, it's like, yo, like give people what they want, right? Like people want to see who you are. So it's like give them authentic shit. It's like, yo, people, when you think of music, it's like, yo, you think of CD, so give them a CD, right? But I realized, okay, for me, where it came out, it's like, okay, people can't really play CDs. Like I got a CD right here, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving them out, go with every bundle. So if you could listen to it, you can listen to it almost like a vinyl. People are doing vinyls. This is my version of a vinyl. I can't afford that shit right now. Them shit's like $25 a piece. You feel me? For the artist,
Yeah,
niggas gotta
that's
pay for that.
100, bro.
Niggas don't realize that shit. You gotta
Yeah.
pay for this shit so I
Yeah.
can sell it to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
so it's like I can't afford that. So this is my vinyl, right? So people usually can't play this, so I'm gonna give them another option. So what can I do? What is a cheap way besides just giving to it on Apple Music? Yo, a fucking USB. I could just get the USBs, download the shit onto my you know what I'm saying? Give them
Bro,
shit. Duh.
You know what? I can't lie,
that
bro.
shit hard.
When I seen that, I'm like,
I
bro, I
wish
ain't never even seen this
you have
before, bro.
one. You have
That's
one
some
you can show,
innovative.
bro?
Say again?
Do you have one
Yeah,
you can show?
I'm gonna show you right now. So this is
Yeah,
right here. So it's
Yeah,
an
because that
actual. So it's an
look
actual.
at this. Everybody look at this.
It's an actual cassette. So you know I'm gonna open it for y'all. You know you open it, you take the CD out. You got your actual. Hold up, let me flip it this way.
That shit hard.
You
that's
know what I'm
Shit
tough.
hard.
saying?
That's tough. I mean, and when you see the
Yeah,
whole bundle, it also
absolutely.
comes with what else comes in that bundle as well. That's tough, though, man.
Sure.
That's tough.
So you pull it out. Woo.
Look at that. I mean, check my man out,
See?
though.
You know
Check
what I'm
him out,
saying?
though. Check him
What I'm
out, though.
talking about, bro.
You know what I'm saying? $10, $10 a
That
piece.
shit
I
hard,
could do
bro.
that.
Low key, that can't be.
You know, so it's like, yo,
That
it's
shit
trying to
hard,
be
bro.
innovative. So you got that, and I got my shirts. I got one on right here, so you can see the front, but I got different colors to show you. Boom.
Any given Sunday, August 1st, you see it down at the bottom of the screen. Go get that. Any given Sunday, August 1st.
I got
I
my
mean,
album credits, and I'm definitely like, so I'm
Bro,
headstrong. I'm
that's hard.
headstrong on getting people
And
quality
is that
records. Like
cardboard? Is the cardboard one yours too, bro?
the
Is the
cardboard.
cardboard one yours too?
Which one?
The
Oh, and
T-shirts that say cardboard.
where?
I saw a video where it showed. It started with the cardboard video, cardboard box, and then it showed like
Oh,
shirts
so
and shit.
no, those are our. That's for a brown box. So I like me and Mars pretty
Bro,
much
that was hard
design
too.
all our shirts. I don't have one right here, but I could definitely like send you something. So like but y'all can look into a follow
Bro, yeah,
brown
that.
box,
Bro, I'm
please
telling you,
follow
there's.
brown box. It's BRWNBOX BRWNBOX. You can follow us and see what we got going on. Enough said. But yeah, for me and like for Maz, like we realized like yo, these artists, these influencers, these commentators, whatever the case may be, these people sell themselves to you. So they sell merch. You know what I'm saying? This is their actual income. The merch is the actual income, not what they're actually doing. My music isn't making money. You know what I'm saying? Her food isn't making money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, anybody, man or woman, you have to put the money out. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So you have to do the best.
You gotta spend that money to make something.
You have to, right? So it's like, yo, my thing is, if I have to do that, I'm gonna give you the best, right? So it's like, yo, like, I'm not just stopping with this. Like, when the actual tape comes out on the first, I'm coming out with actual bags, a Duffy bag. So if you listen to the tape, I got a song on there called "Hold the Truth," aka Duffy Wusa. That's another one of my favorite tracks too. I was gonna say that's my favorite verse on the actual tape. Was "Hold the Truth." It was just like, I feel like for me, I was just like in ultimate rapper mode. Like, the flow was for me there. That was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was in
like
my
that.
bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was in
Yeah.
my bag. So for me, that was my favorite verse. But I'm definitely I'm seeing what the game is. So it's like, I feel like, okay, I could brand that song like Duffy. Duffy got the bag, Duffy cuffing cash, Duffy slip on swag, hey, Duffy hold the groovy juice. It's like, yo, a song like that.
Talk your
Like,
shit,
you know,
bro.
like, you know, a song,
Talk
a
your
song,
shit, bro.
a
Let them
song,
know, bro. Let them
like,
know.
yo, a song like that, you feel me? You could brand, like, that's what these artists do. Like Drake,
Everybody
50
got a
Slide.
TikTok dance, or
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this with these artists. So I'm branding that. I'm gonna give people actual duffel bag to motherfucking how. That's some merch. You know what I'm saying? So you can feel like me. You know what I'm saying? Get that
go
energy.
come any given Sunday. Any
You
given
know what I'm
Sunday
saying?
on first. Go get that, man. Go run that up.
I appreciate now, but it's like, yo, I think like the consumer, like, I try to follow and read the things that Elon Musk says, or Jeff Bezos, even though he's a nut sometimes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's crazy you say that, man, because that's this friend. Like, that's out of all of my friends that probably talk about branding or whatever the most, it's probably this dude right here. Like, he's all, bro, every time we talk is always, hey, bro, we got to do this. We got to make sure we do this. Hey, we got to get on this. We got to, like, cause like, hey, doing this right here does this. Like,
that's what gets the numbers,
for sure the branding mind behind everything. So that's smart, bro, because everybody got to take Drake, as hot as Drake is, Drake didn't need to make Tootsie Slide, bro. He didn't even make it, but he know that's what it's going to. He's like, well, hey, I could do that too. You know, if you got a TikTok dance, I seen Travis Scott do that, and that went and all that and that. Oh, nah. That, I mean, I have my daughters here today, bro, and I heard that song at least 200 times. Like, it's so Drake, like, hey, I can go make one of them too. So, bro, the marketing genius, you know. And people always talking about, oh, I'm in my bag. You just said it right now. I was in my bag. That's slang now. That means you really on your shit. Like, I'm in my bag. So that's marketing. Go ahead, Dano.
All right, bro. Talking about marketing, I was watching. Obviously, I was getting into your shit, bro. I was watching that shit, and I was watching 420 Pimpin', and I saw that y'all put Trump up in a motherfucking thing and wrote him with that. Was that more marketing, or would you say that's more how y'all really feel?
Hey, need I remind you, bro? That's his boy. Trump is his dog. That's his man, bro.
Bro, shut up.
That's his man,
White Hope.
That's his man, bro. Like,
hey,
that's
all I'm saying is I'm team West 2020.
I was going to ask you that as well. So after you answer this question,
that was our next question.
I think yesterday on Instagram, you know, well, obviously Kanye said he was going to run, and I seen you retweeted it. I mean, you posted to your story. And you said you got your vote. So after you answer the question about the Trump in the video, I want you to talk about why you think Kanye would be a good president.
Okay. Yo, for the video.
So what made y'all think to put that in the video?
So it was the line, right? So if you heard the song, he was like, damn, he was like, oh, fuck Donald Trump, he ain't do me none. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we was basically just coming off of that line, but the energy of the song was
reenacting it.
Like, yeah, like fuck fuck what the fuck is going on right now. They just trying to really control us. Let's
I
smoke
feel it.
our weed and cure the evils of what's going on with the power of weed. So that was the actual like narrative behind the video. So it's like,
Yeah,
yo, we thought it
so
was
really what it was trying to.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. So basically, you basically in a sense showing the injustice shit that's going across everywhere right now, and you're just
That was my way because I just feel like, and it's like,
making a
yo,
scene
I do.
to show which
Right.
I feel it.
I agree with you because it's like, and what I mean, to the contrary, right? Like, even though it's like we all like to think like we're against Trump, like on the contrary, I actually agree with you, Dano. Like, Trump is making progress. Like, you can't argue that. Like, the stats are there. He's pushing legislatives that matter, right? He's just a dickhead. Like, he says what he wants, and that's his marketing. It's his marketing. That's it. He can't go against that at this point. If he's a nice guy, people won't give him money anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
that's crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I agree with like, yo, like Obama didn't leave shit in the best condition. Niggas don't want to have that conversation either.
Facts.
But
big facts.
But never mind that. You know what I'm saying? He's doing what he can. You know what I'm saying? It's not his fault that
he did get blocked on a lot of stuff.
It's not Trump's fault that white people are fucking ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are going to take what he's saying to heart and be on some like, nah, like I think he said this, like, you know what I'm saying? He meant this by this, and it's like, no, Trump actually just said this, and you going left field with it, like, because he is Trump, like, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, we just had this conversation the other day because facts neither did Bush. We had this conversation the other day because we was talking about what Trump said the other day about how, well, first he signed the executive order saying that, you know, basically college degree don't mean nothing. Skills and, you know, experience basically matters now, which is I'm talking about what's up, because we know school is a joke anyways. But then he goes and say black people learn history or will repeat itself. Like, dog, like, what are you talking about? And I always say Trump the politician and Trump the person is two different people. You know,
the thing is, this is what I personally believe. It's how he talk, how he reflects ain't the right way. I think he was raised by a lot of racist people, probably. Think about the timing of it all. He was probably raised by a lot of racist people, and I will say that's in his heart. But over it all, I think he's really trying to do good because he knows he's the fucking president now and shit. So in the broad span of things, we have to look at what he did. We can't look at the shit he says because the shit is bad. But a lot of motherfuckers say bad shit behind closed doors if you tell the truth. But personally, I feel like he's the most dickhead president we've had, but he's also the best president we've had for our country in a sense because of what he's done for our community, because of what he's done for unemployment, what he's even done for women. Like, this shit crazy. Like, he a dickhead, but he getting something done.
That's why I say that's why I always say, you know, what I just said right now, Trump the politician and Trump the person. Trump the politician really isn't as bad as people want to make him seem. It's just the stupid shit he says overrides all of that.
The person is so bad.
It's just, go ahead.
I mean, yo, he actually isn't doing the best job. Like, you feel me? Like, that nigga is still making money as the president. Like, still business as usual. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, yeah, Trump the person is still some narcissistic, egotistical, motherfucking
racist, real, bro.
You know? But like, you know, you can't say that because it's like, again, in the same light, it's like, yo, like Obama used his platform being the president that whole time to push only, like, think about it, like, only LGBTQ.
I'm glad you said it.
Like, think about that, like, him being a black man, like, think about what that had to, like, think about that, like, think about, like, how that could have affected his relationship, you know what I'm saying? And that's gonna tie into my opinion, like why I believe Kanye should be in there because the influence. He is the husband of the most marketable person the world has ever seen
Big
in this
fact.
lifetime. Ever. You
Big
know what
fact.
I'm saying? So it's like, with that power, he could push legislations that niggas would be like,
I
we
mean,
can
Kim get
stop
mugged
this
out of jail, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel as if you fuck with the Kardashians, you might your life will be different as you know it. You know what I'm saying? From here on out, like they got that type of power. Nobody talks about that part of it.
All of them, bro.
They,
Like all of them.
bro, like real talk.
And
Like think about it. Think about
the
it.
real
This
problem
man.
is, bro,
Go ahead.
well, I don't know if y'all can hear. I think we're behind. The real problem is a lot of us don't understand if we don't all stick together and go vote. Like say we all went and voted for Kanye for real. He could become president. But if a lot of people just voted, it would end up Trump becoming president again because he didn't get enough. And that's just how legislation works. And we just got a comment saying they're satanic, and I definitely believe that. But we have to really get together.
I feel like they're not saying I can't even say this shit right now.
Satanic, we get you.
Right. Satanic. It's not that they're satanic. It just really of the unpopular opinion. As we're not to be, bring
hey, do your thing.
People don't you know what I'm saying, agree with how Kanye says things, so he's unpopular. His opinion doesn't matter as much as it used to because he tweaked on TMZ.
And I agree with that. I agree with that.
Anything you know what I'm saying? This man is a whole person. You don't know how you would have reacted if you were that person in that situation. Like, this man literally sits up here, did music. Like, this is the shit I'm trying to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man don't even have to make music no more. He is personally responsible for Virtue's success.
Bro, this man just made a pair of Crocs, bro, and they selling for like $75, and then I heard resale going for even more right now. So I'm talking.
You can't tell me, you know what I'm saying, that this man like you don't hate him that much. If you did, you wouldn't be buying his shit.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, because he making too much money.
True.
That's a real comment right there. I don't believe Kanye is either, but his in-laws.
His in-laws, they are. It's crazy, bro. This man went from a whole Division I athlete to like a motherfucking
somebody great granddaddy.
a RuPaul motherfucking drag queen. Like,
God. Oh God. Why are we here, bro? Since we on this subject, do you watch The Chi?
Yeah. Oh my God, bro! This motherfucking season.
So you see, so you already know what I'm gonna talk about, right? How they made my boy. I don't watch the show, but everybody love Reg, and the fact, for those who don't know, we talked about, me and Dano talked about on Friday how in Illinois now, the whole state of Illinois, they are now made to teach LGBTQ history. It must be taught. And then now they making my man from The Chi. They killed him off because he didn't want his girlfriend to be a transgender. And people are killing him on social media.
Wait. That's what I heard. He was like, I heard something totally different.
Nah, they wanted his girlfriend to be the person that they wanted his girlfriend to be was a transgender, and he said, "I'm not with that." And they basically gave him an ultimatum, like, you either gonna do this or you can get gone. That's what happened, bro.
They tried to say, honestly, I don't know if it's something different that we getting up here on Black Twitter in Jersey or something, but like, I was under, for real though. I was under, because that's like passing the word in school. It's like by the time it actually get back to the person.
Oh God,
like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
oh God.
They really like the narrative to us. It's like, he was like touching and feeling on some of the staff that was working in the show.
Nah, bro.
And he was like molesting them and stuff like that. Like, he was coming on to them, and it wasn't just that TV show. but it was other shows that he was on working at Universal Studios, like on that whole site. It was
Yeah, bro. He released a tweet and was like, "Thanks for everybody," but it came out like this is, I seen it on like Wednesday, I believe it was, and then they had the receipts. You know how Twitter is, bro. Just like you say, Black Twitter boy. Once they get a hold of something, it's over with. But they had all the receipts, as they say nowadays, and it was talk about like in the like description of the show, it was like this is gonna be the gayest season ever, and all of this, it's gonna be a lot of this and that.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So they, this is true. Then so they came out and they wanted his his girlfriend to be a transgender, born a male, now is a female. I get the way they do it. And he like, nah, bro, I can't fuck with that, and I can't.
Illuminati is pushing this. Illuminati is pushing this initiative. America will be gay and happy. You know what I'm saying? Get it through your head. You know what I'm saying? Get it through your head. Period. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because the people in power are gay themselves. They always be, and
I'm
they
glad
always
you said that.
But it's crazy. It's just crazy for me though, because it's like, yo, being black in America, I don't know about y'all, how y'all raised, but I'm pretty sure this is like felt by everybody black across America. Like, yo, you got a strong mother, you know what I'm saying, who's very friendly, will always got a gay friend or something, and you are not, fucking like disgusted by it, or it's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has always been a narrative. It's like, yo, like this.
Especially in our community, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Black Lives Matter is funding LGBT.
Say again.
Black Lives Matter is funding that as well, LGBT things of that nature.
Yo, so it's crazy because I was listening to y'all show and you had brought up a good point. You was like, yo, if you look up Black Lives Matter and see who owns that company, you can't find nothing. So I took it upon myself to do the same thing. Me and Moss was doing it. And we like, yo, what the fuck? Like, this is owned by like a Pakistani woman. Like,
I'm glad you said that, bro. Like, because people take research of what somebody say and never go look up nothing for themselves, bro. Like, they never go look up nothing, and the black people that swear they so, I guess, woke, they'll be like, nah, Black Lives Matter this, and it's like, do you even know what you're talking about? Do you know? Do you know, or is you just?
The problem is we all stand for the movement
because Go ahead, Dano.
Oh, I said the problem is we all really do stand up for the right thing, obviously, but we don't see when we type in Black Lives Matter, we expect to go to something that's legit. But then that same Black Lives Matter, go to blacklivesmatter.com. That's the site that leads you to funding the Democratic Party. A lot of black people think we're supposed to be Democrats, but realistically, the Republican Party was created to combat the damn, I'm over here trying to read this shit. Would combat the Confederates and things of that nature for our community. But now we're really taught to believe that that's our party, and we're getting real confused. That's even why Joe Biden thought he could say, "Oh, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black." That's why he could even come to that conclusion, say shit like that. And then the fact that they're pushing this false, bro, there's a lot of shit. I'm going for
it's all about voters, bro. Like it's all about voters, and and it's funny because Joe Biden really thought that the black race outnumbered the gays. Like the gays is across every race. So what do you think the black numbers are going to be larger than the gay numbers for? Like, why are you playing that card? You know what I'm saying?
Because he think right now and he's seen what was going on in the world. Like, boy, they getting stuff done. But in real life,
if you did pull that card, no, we're not gonna buy it from you. You of all people, Biden. Come on, bro.
For real.
Hey, that's yeah. Trump is homie, and he don't like Hillary, and he doesn't like. And he
really hate her,
bro. He hate Hillary, bro. He hate Hillary.
Ooh, hate Hillary. Fuck Hillary. Fuck Hillary, she's the devil.
But the comment down here, it says, yes, Black Lives Matter, but Black Lives is destroying the community, which is true, man. I mean, bro, like, people don't want to talk about that. And even in my
I love how that's worded. You have to be able to see that to understand what it's really saying, though. You have to understand it's spaced out. Yes, Black Lives Matter, but hashtag Black Lives Matter is a destroying. I'm gonna say destroying the community,
which is that would be saying like Black Lives Matter, but we ain't acting like it right now. You know, even back.
No, that's not what that's saying. What that's saying, bro, is Black Lives Matter, but that it's a false movement. The Black Lives Matter under that hashtag is a false movement. That's not really for us. That's what I think that's saying. I think that's that democratic Black Lives Matter.
Did you see that viral video of that lady paying black, like she's paying like over the Black Lives mural that people are doing in cities across America, like you know, it say Black Lives Matter, or like, you know, like even my city North did it. Like they painted like a street like maybe like 3-4 blocks long, like in yellow, bright yellow. Like I know Philly did it. A couple cities across America did it, but it was a viral video. Some lady, she got some black paint. Her and her husband, it was a white couple, and they had painted over the Black Lives Matter thing they was doing it, and it was a Spanish woman of all people, which I'm gonna speak my opinion because this is unpopular opinion podcast. Like I feel like Spanish people, none again. If you are Spanish, don't take this wrong because I believe in you as a person, and that's what I'm gonna judge, right? But just like as the overall synopsis or the actual stereotype is like, yo, Spanish people or like, you know, of Caribbean descent are the most racist people here. You know what I'm saying? But
I agree with that. My wife is Mexican, bro, and she said that all the time. I mean, you know, people that's Puerto Rican, they say that all the time. Like we some of the most racist people that you know, it's crazy, bro. Like I showed my wife a video where other Mexicans were telling each other, go back to Mexico, and it's like, what?
Yo,
bro, like, what?
They are just of that, like, people, like dark. They're just dark people, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so it's like, yeah, those white people, and there's a Spanish couple, a Spanish lady taking a bucket, yelling at her this and the third, and it was like I had to think about that in the moment. If that was me, like, what would I do? And what was she really trying to say? Because the husband was sitting there recording them while they were recording them. And the husband was like, this is a false movie, this and the third. And I had to really think to myself, like, yo, like, y'all doing all of this shit, but nothing has been done, bro. Y'all doing all of this shit, like, in each individual city, even in my city. Like, I feel like in my city, the people that did it, when they organized it, they didn't let any of the community leaders know. Like, my fiance owns a fucking business in your community, and you didn't let her know that y'all were doing this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, these were.
But you know what I found out, bro? Because, you know, before I came out here to El Paso, like for people who don't know, El Paso is like 80% Hispanic. Like we're right here next to the border. Like we're talking like El Chapo border. Like we're talking about like right there, you know, like I ride past there, like just about everywhere I go. And I'm from Florida. You know, we don't see many Hispanics in Florida, especially in North Florida where I'm from. You know, so the ones that we see, just like you being in Jersey, I know you don't see that many Hispanics out there. And probably in certain areas.
Sections. Yeah, it's just
in certain areas. Just like everywhere, just like in Florida, if you go to Orlando, that's where most of the Hispanics are at. Or if you go to Miami, obviously, because you got the Cubans and all that down there. But you know, people who don't know, we just, you know, when you in those places where the population of Hispanics are low, they can become very, very, very racist. But I think being out here in El Paso, it's kind of the same, but you realize like when they realize we're the same people, bro, like we're literally the same people. When you go back in history and you look about who the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans, we're talking about Mexicans, Aztecs, Incas, you know, we're talking, this was Native Americans. Why you think so many Hispanics always say, "Oh, I got my family is Cherokee or my family is Blackfoot." They got just as many Native people in there as us, but when they in those communities, like where we from, where we probably don't see them in our everyday life, well, we probably know where they're located, but we're talking about in our everyday life, we don't run into them. Man, we're talking about they can be some. It's wild, man. But being out here in El Paso, it's a little different. But I guess because they more, I guess, colonized, I could say, because Fort Bliss is the biggest military installation in the world. We're talking Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, you name it, it's the biggest. So there's so many people coming through here like daily. It's a little different. But in areas where we come from, yeah, man. Like I can definitely understand what you're saying, because it's wild. Even in Chicago, bro, they got race wars over there. You know, you can't come over here to Little Town. You can't come on the South Side, and it's like, bro, like it's real life war, and we really shouldn't be, because we really the same people, but that's just how it is, man. That I
mean, yo, like it's an agenda, and Dano, he says it all the time when y'all talk, bro. Like, it's an agenda that they're pushing, and they're going to keep pushing, and they're going to get it. And if that plan doesn't work, they're going to think of another plan, and they're going to use that plan, and they're going to push that. And like, yo, little by little, every day we get more and more separated as a race, as a culture. Like, yo, I think y'all hinted on it in the episode before. Like, yo, as Black people, as a light-skinned Black person here, and I don't want to be ignorant, you know what I'm saying? No offense, but like, yo, we are separated as light-skinned and dark-skinned still to this day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
amen.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that shouldn't be. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just things that are embedded in the DNA of our culture.
that light skin, dark skin thing,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But we need to realize, to get rid of that, we don't have any culture. There is no such thing as a Black American, an African American. There's no such thing.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to really sit there and talk and have a conversation with a fiance. Like,
it's two countries, bro.
What am I?
It's two countries.
Well, like, what am I? Like, am I Black? Like, what do I call myself?
You know, I say that all the time on the show. I don't want to say Black. Like, I have to do it because, but I just do it because of, you know, I guess not necessarily the audience, but it's like that's just what people associate it with. Go ahead.
They've never given the proper name to express whole community loss. First, they called us obviously nigger, and then they called us
nigger. We were never looked at as a man. We were 3/10 of a man or 3/3.
The problem is, at this point,
it's been down.
We gotta respect what others think, but we don't really gotta care. We gotta be our own strength. We gotta be our own. We can't really care about racism too much, even though we gotta react to it. We can't do too much about it, because us having hatred toward that person is only gonna make us lose too. Hatred never makes us win. Negative is always gonna bring negative around it. So I would honestly, like we always say on this podcast, I would hope if a dude is racist, he would let me know. I'm not gonna say that he's gonna have a good outcome, but I'm saying I would hope
around me.
Yeah, and I hope he would let me know, to even if there's something that goes on in there, say me and him fight. At least after that moment, I know where his intentions are. There's way too many hidden racists nowadays that even marching with us right now just to be able to go loot, just to be able to go riot, just to be able to go say, yeah, see, that's them niggas. And a lot of us don't even see that. There's a lot of sheep. I mean, a lot of whoop in these sheep masks. I don't know how to say it other than we're being tricked to hate each other.
I agree. I got one more question for you, bro, before we get out of here. I mean, I want to thank you, bro, for joining the podcast, man. I mean, this is huge. I mean, I know, especially on the East Coast, it's late where you at.
Hour 30? Shit.
Yeah, it's late where you at. I mean, yeah, bro, we've been on an hour and 30, almost an hour and 30. And it don't even feel like it. Yeah, it don't feel like it. But just one more question before you get out of here, before we get out of here. and it's, you know, dealing with the Vanessa Guillen, you know, the young lady, the soldier out of Fort Hood that was just found dead. She's been missing for a while. Just from your experience in the military, you know, your personal experience, how do you feel about what's going, or how they handled that situation?
I mean, yo, the military. Let me tell you something about the military. First of all, they ain't no different than the average crip or average blood. Whatever set or whatever neighborhood you from, that's what they are. And
Most
that's
want to
what they
understand that.
And it's straight
Just
up
talk
just
about
like that. Like, I don't care if, like, yo, I could see you 10 years from now and we can never talk another day from this. But if I see you then and somebody got a problem with you, I'm gonna fight that motherfucker for you.
On
Just
God.
because of what we went through. You know what I'm saying? It's just that type of, like, you know what I'm saying, like, dog eat dog there. So bringing it up to the top again. So if you think about the motherfucking OGs of any set, they gonna do whatever they can to cover their butts up. So to bring it all together, like, that's exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They don't want their name looked at in any way or any form or any fashion as anything to do with it is going to look like, you know what I'm saying, it was just an unfortunate or, like, tragic event. That's what they're calling it, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But they definitely not letting all the information out, I feel like. But I mean, this too shall pass. You know what I'm saying? The truth will always come. You know, I feel like everything, something like somebody knows more than what they're, and which is always the case. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta wait. It's a waiting game.
That's what I mean, bro. Like, us being in the military, I'm kind of torn, bro. Like, and people gonna be like, how can you be torn? And I was talking to my wife, man, about this yesterday, and bro, like, it's hard for me because we know, bro, like, people go AWOL every day in the military. Like
Every
it just
day.
happens.
No,
like,
every day.
bro,
I
like,
had to
people.
lock up in Korea. I'm sorry, not to cut you off.
No. That's why I bring it up. Go ahead.
In Korea, bro, I had to take my boy to Fort Leonard Worth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, not Fort Leonard Worth, but that's the one they have in the States, but they have something
Like
close to
Levin
that.
West type.
You know what I'm saying? But they have it in Korea, and I had to, like, take him in because that was my corporal. You know what I'm saying? So I was next in line, so I had to take him in. Like, they really made me lock him up and take him in, as if it was my job to do that, as if I don't have superiors. Like, I was the only person in the world that could have did this shit that's on duty in staff. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they do that to show or prove a point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's like,
you know, and for Miss Stormy, I that the reason why I say this is because the people that don't know the inner workings of how the military works, and people that's been in leadership positions, they don't realize when people go missing in the military, you don't just go looking for them like that. Like, that's like just normal military protocol. Just for the people that say, oh, like this is this. Like, people that's been in the military know people go, they just leave work sometimes, bro. They don't come back. They just get tired. They need a break. I've seen that happen at Fort Bliss plenty of times. And just the way now, that's not saying it's right. I'm just talking about how the military work. The military need to change a lot of shit, but that'll never happen, bro. Like, it's the military.
Me myself, I was supposed to be reporting back to Georgia when I came back from Korea a whole 3 months before I went back. You know what I'm saying? They had no idea when I was supposed to motherfucking report back.
Yeah, like, most of the time, they don't even be knowing, bro.
So I could have left. I could have left. Like, just still been getting paid the whole time. You know. Just never I
most definitely agree with this comment down here. And that's why I was going to say, I was going to bring up your point, what you said. Everything just, of course, people are covering up, and people are hiding more than what they know. You know, we got a report that says she was getting assaulted by her NCOs, a sergeant. The dude that they say killed her and killed himself, he's a PFC. Now, me and you know for a fact, that ain't no sergeant. That ain't no NCO. So, you know, you got two PFCs running the armory with no NCO, no E5, at least no corporal.
Probably.
Yeah, bro. It's like 45 minutes. You know, he beat this girl head in and fucking, like, covered clean up all the blood and nobody came by, nobody knew what was going on. Bro, it's wild to me, and that's what bothers me the most. That it's just odd that you can kill somebody in an armory, bro, in a military installation where people are walking by and walking through all the time, and
cameras everywhere,
bro. And it's like you just, I don't. That's what I don't get. But that's why I mentioned the part about.
And then he was suicided.
Because people go AWOL and they don't look for you, bro. Just after 72 hours, they just start paperwork so you can get out. That's just how they do. But it's the other stuff that bothers me the most, because I just feel like people was doing something shady, bro.
Nah, like something was going on, bro. Like I will say, like, bro, I was doing some shady shit while I was in like when my car broke down, best believe I had access to keys and I was taking military vehicles off of base. So I was doing shady shit.
It's wild in the military,
so
bro.
It ain't like, yo, it's free game. Like it's like a regular job. Anything else, if you got access to anything else, like you do in real life in the real world, and you gonna do it out here, you're gonna do it in there. So if you can sell drugs in the military, you're gonna do that. If you can sell some ass in the
and
military,
we knew people that was doing that, bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
it's really just real life. You just got on the uniform.
That's the point that I always have with people. A lot of people look at the military like it's a whole nother world once you get swore in. But it's really the same thing. And a lot of people get in the military, let's be honest, it's their last option. When you don't know what else to do, a good option is the military. So that means obviously a lot of people who didn't know what to do, might have been into some bad shit, are gonna sign up, and they're not gonna do.
Question, Daniel, real quick. At you being a kid, how did that affect you being raised? Like did it, because I chose to leave the military before that reason. I'm like, yo, I can't raise my kid being in this shit. I'm just gonna do some whole.
That's why I left.
You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. I can't live that lifestyle. So how did that affect you? Did you flourish? Did you know what I'm saying?
That's honestly a really good question that I ain't been asked. I personally believe the financial advantage of it gave me a lot of positivity, i.e. the post 9/11 GI Bill and all those type of things. And there's a lot of positive to it on a financial standpoint, but a mental standpoint, I feel like it ruins children, because my mom and my father were both in the military, but my mom actually got out when I was 6. So that helped a lot. And my father stayed in, and he was always deployed. He was always voluntarily going to Korea, voluntarily going everywhere. So he was gone all the time, a year at a time. He would come back for 2 years, leave for a year. But where that affected me was it made me become real independent, because I feel like a boy needs their dad in a sense, or they kind of go off and do whatever they see, whatever role model male could be there does. And then I started going down the wrong path because I started looking at the wrong role models in gang members and things of that nature. So I started falling down the wrong path, thinking I was this hood dude, because the dude I looked up to, I guess, was the most hood dude in the world at that time. And then I started to realize as I got older, that's not something that I wanted to be. And I probably would have learned that a lot sooner if I had a father figure consistently there. And
that's the reason why I got out.
As it can get.
That's the reason why I got out, man. My 3 daughters, their mom is she was military, so that dual military, bro. And I told myself that's not what I wanted to do. Jump place to place to place to place to place to place. With my kids, they can't even enjoy school. They can't enjoy friends because they moving. Every time they get settled, boom, we got to go somewhere else. And that's the reason why. That's one of the reasons why I decided to take my med board. That's his mom coming down there now. But that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. That's the reason why I decided to take the med board, because I'm like, I don't want to keep doing this with my kids. Like, I know eventually I'm not gonna stay at Fort Bliss forever, And then at one point they were talking about deploying me and their mom at the same time, and it's like, bro, like that's not what I wanted to do for my kids to have them, you know, jumping. So I agree, man. That's why I got out, and that's why I didn't want to continue doing the military thing. But that was just me.
It's crazy,
You know?
and I appreciate
And a lot of people don't know. I actually went through MEPS. Through it, I don't think you really understand the effect you have, because I had my first daughter when I was 16, and I still thought it was kind of the right path to go down because that was all I was taught. But that goes into being, I don't want to just say being a black man, but being a person in not the greatest, coming up from the greatest place. We're not taught that many ways to come out. So it's either you're going to be a rapper, you're going to play ball, you get in the military, then you can go to school. So not having many options. Through MEPS, I passed my physical, I got through everything. I did something about my fraudulent, because my recruiter told me not to tell them that I got caught shoplifting. So I didn't, but then it came back on me and they said all this bullshit.
That
Yeah,
they
it came back and bit me in the ass. But in the same token, that moment made me realize, nah, I could do this by myself. I don't need to do it the same way my dad did it. And then at this point, I got 5 kids, so is family, and realizing that as a man, you have to be able to grind. You have to be able to get it on your own.
Which is that true
entrepreneur. And that's the end of it all, man. That's moral lesson.
That's that true entrepreneur spirit. But I want to thank everybody that tuned in.
That's where it has to come from when you stop depending on other people.
That's true as well. That's most definitely true as well. But that's gonna be it for today's podcast, man. I appreciate everybody that came through the stream. We had steady people coming through in and out of the stream. I appreciate y'all for coming through. I want to thank you again, bro, for coming through, joining us on the podcast. You just really don't understand how what that really means to me, bro. Like, you know, that you took time out of your schedule just to chop it up. Like, we ain't no famous people, you know, and you took time out of your day to come chop it up with us, and I appreciate that. You, before we get out of here, you want to tell the people about Any Given Sunday, out August 1st. Dreams versus Money is out right now. You want to go ahead and tell the people before we get out of here?
Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, you can follow me on Instagram at much love word. Appreciate you, Danielle. Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Chinatown USA, CHNTWN USA. That's CHNTWN USA. And you can find me on all streaming platforms at Red November, REDROVEMBER. So you can find me streaming everywhere. And yeah, like he said, Dreams vs. Money out right now. Any Given Sunday out August 1st. If you want to cop any of your merch or any of the merch, like they were saying earlier, I have bundles still. And you can just visit me on the website. The website is www.chinatownusa.com. You can find that in my bio. And I just hope y'all enjoy the tape, man. It was in Dano. I appreciate you, man, and it was good meeting you, and you already know, brother. Like, I appreciate you. I'm always
much love, bro. Much love, bro.
You know, I'm always welcome to come on here and chop it up, man. Y'all intelligent brothers, and this shit is this is going word. Get your duffel bag, cause you know what I'm saying. Like, yo, keep grinding, man. It's really that. It's that simple,
bro. I appreciate you, bro.
And
I appreciate you.
Y'all headed places, and I like, yo, this is wonderful, and I'll do it again in a heartbeat, man. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, bro, listen, bro. Much love, bro. You got Dano? You got anything?
Hey, as always, I just want to push out people to stay positive. Go support this man. Go support this man for real because he got some good things in the works. Everybody stay positive, stay strong. If somebody tries to hold you down, don't allow them to hold you in any mental state. It's all about how you think. It's all about yourself. Uh, Yata, you know what it be.
Any given Sunday, August 1st, go get that. Bundle pack, go get that. Chinatown, USA. Go get that, man. August 1st, any given Sunday. Appreciate you again, bro, for coming on the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the stream. Y'all already know what time it is. I'm Popular Opinion Podcast. We out.